drop you off at the mall on a Saturday, just go to the arcade and play forever. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, any like weird like beat 'em up games that were there. You'd always play some beat 'em up games, like maybe the Dungeons and Dragons games that they made into like beat 'em up games.
Yeah. You know what game I always hated, though? I'll tell you the game that used to frustrate me, and I was convinced after playing it even twice that it was a scam for quarters, was Dragon's Lair. I thought, this is the fucking piece of shit game. I was like, it looked so cool. I was like, oh, this looks so awesome. Look at animated shit.
Don't let Don Bluth hear it yet. Don't let Don Bluth may all of a sudden appear, and we're going to get fucked.
He might. I have nothing against Don Bluth. I have a problem with whoever made that game. And
Don
the actual
Bluth?
well, he didn't do the playability. Bluth. He didn't create like the playability of it, and like he did the animation for it, which is beautiful, by the way. That's why I wanted to play it. Don Bluth is the reason I wanted to play the game. The playability of the game is the reason I hate the fucking game.
Did you ever watch the Nostalgia Critic video on Dragon's Lair?
Yeah, I saw where Don Bluth actually is in the video.
Yeah. See, Dragon's Lair was rough, but then Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp was even rougher.
See, I wouldn't even play it. I was so mad that I had wasted so much money trying to play Dragon's Lair. And back then, I think it was like $1 a play even back then. And it was like, oh my God, I'd put $1 in it and just lose $1 in 20 seconds. And the game over.
That was a game where you had to spend so much money to learn every single screen.
I gave up after losing so much money. I was like, you know what? I'm not playing this anymore. I think this is just a cartoon and it's fucking with me.
And a game that could not be ported properly for so fucking long. Like the NES version is a fucking side scroller. The Game Boy version, which I own, it was like some other game, and they just changed the sprites to Dragon's Lair characters.
Now, Space Ace was another one that
was a Don
I
Bluth
thought
one.
Space Ace was a little bit easier to control. I thought it was a little bit better, but still sucky because those animated games it's like they were trying to do what we have now back then with animation, and it just didn't link up. It didn't work.
Well, you're going through the arcade and you're hearing like the 8-bit sound, like that arcade music. All of a sudden, you just hear Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, like one of the first ones with like actual voices and animation and cool looking graphics.
And then you saw the princess, and you were just in that skimpy black like negligee, and you were just like, you're a prepubescent boy. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna save the princess, yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna
have to get to that scene.
Gotta get to saving the princess, and then you die on the first level, and you're like,
oh yeah, just turned to bones.
Fuck.
Dirt just dies.
Like, I can't save the fucking princess from the dragon, motherfucker.
Well, actually, the Saturday morning cartoons of Space Ace, I think there was a Dragon's Lair one, too. Those were...
Yeah, there was a dragon. It was like, I think Hanna-Barbera did it. I always thought, if they ever... See, Dragon's Lair is one of those I wish they would have made, like, either 20 years ago, or they could de-age him, because somehow I just see Bruce Campbell as Dirk the Daring.
Oh man! By the way, Ash vs. Evil Dead is back on. We're a couple episodes in now, and it's just as good as it was. It's great.
Ash's daughter shows up, right?
Yeah, I have pretty much given Walking Dead the blow off. Fuck off! It's off my DVR. I don't watch it. Now my Sunday nights are dominated by Bruce Campbell.
Yes, and that's a good thing to be dominated by. My TV's been, like I said, dominated by Zelda and Link, but. I've got new stuff to watch too. There's quite a bit of new stuff that they put on Netflix that I gotta watch.
Oh yeah, there's some really good horror movies on Netflix. Some good foreign horror movies. I watched the last couple days. I've watched all the VHS movies, which I thought the first one was pretty good. I just like anthology horror movies. Yeah. I like found footage horror movies. So you put those two together, a found footage anthology horror movie. I'm gonna kind of dig it on some level anyway. The first two I thought were pretty good. They kind of followed the same kind of thing. They find a stash of videotapes in a house, and it's all mystery and weird and dark, and then they play these tapes, and they're really creepy shit.
Right.
The third one, VHS Viral, it's similar in that there's anthology stories in it, but the whole like
viral
the core,
video
the core story of it, like the thing that surrounds the episodes, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It just seemed ridiculous, and it was really there was these really grating, like when they do found footage where you like see static in the screen and there's like
Yeah.
scenes like you get like the blue like just like blaring sound from the blue screen like
Yeah.
like shit like that. That was like dominant throughout the whole movie. Like in between each scene, in between each section, they had this weird video effect. And I hated it. It was horrible.
Like,
I almost turned it off because it was so grating.
well, it's like VHS sounds like having like an anthology based off VHSs makes sense. Once you go to like I hate the whole trend nowadays of horror movies with like the internet. Oh, there's a ghost in the internet and he's going to kill you. There's a Facebook ghost.
I like old school. That's why my favorite of the Paranormal Activity movies is the third one, because the third one is based around a VHS camcorder, which to me lends credibility and lets me get immersed in the story because you can't tamper with VHS tape. You can't edit VHS tape. So everything on it seemed 100% more real and in your face because this guy's just recording on VHS tapes and this freaky shit's going on. I thought that was good.
I mean, I took a class in high school and I was able to edit VHS tapes. It was just transferring from one to another, but.
Well, yeah, you could do that, but that's editing and that's editing in general. This is like when you're doing found footage. This guy's just slapping a tape in a VHS camcorder, and tables are floating around the house.
Yeah.
No, that was creepy to me. I thought that was the best one of the whole series because it's set recording on a VHS tape.
Well, but, did you see the latest Cinema Snob episode?
I don't think so. I haven't checked out his channel in a couple
days. Guess what it is? Hey, it's Death Wish 3, punk.
Oh, yeah, I have to watch it now. Hey, punk. All right, dirtbag.
He's like, why did they make Death Wish 3? His wife's dead, his daughter's dead, he has no more family to avenge.
Everybody keeps getting raped around Charles Bronson. Oh, my God.
And I can't wait for the Bruce Willis one. Oh, my God, that's going to be...
It's out now. I don't know how well it's doing, but yeah, I'm a big fan of the original Death Wish, and Charles Bronson's just I just love Charles Bronson. That guy is the most stone-faced, like just old school tough guy ever, and I just love all those. I love movies. I like 10 to Midnight and the Mechanic. I think was him. Yeah, the Mechanic, and man, he was in a lot of like old westerns and shit too back in the day.
Yeah,
but yeah, Charles Bronson is great.
Yeah, so he put up Death Wish 3. Actually, he put up 2 this past weekend. He did Death Wish 3, but then he also put on Best of Cinema Snob, and he put up Sleepaway Camp Part 2.
Oh, I did see that one on. I haven't watched it, but I saw it was on there. I didn't see the Death Wish one though.
And the Sleepaway Camp Part 2 one is good because it's the full review. So when he had it up originally, because of YouTube, he had like the condensed version.
Yeah.
This one is the full version, and it's funnier when it's the full version. So, and I'm sorry, Brad Jones's voice, I fall asleep to that voice because it's just it's so smooth. It is so fucking smooth.
He's got a sense of humor that I just get it. Like some of the just, and it's like it's real subtle. Like some of the things he says are just real subtle offhand remarks, but. He says stuff's just so matter of fact sometimes that's just ridiculous. it just kills me.
I love it when he's watching. I watched the one he did Medea Halloween or whatever. Yeah. And he's sitting there and they like the show, like the movie does a joke. It pans to him. He's just sitting. He just goes, "I don't think I'm the one this movie was intended for," and that just makes me like crack up. That just makes me die laughing.
I just like when he's like, "Okay, movie." You like when he talks to the movie, it makes me laugh.
I love it when he's just like, "Oh my God, what's this person gonna do now?" You know, he makes it's not. There's jokes in it or something.
The buttercreamers made me. The buttercreamer episodes are really funny.
Buttercreamer ones are great.
The kid goes to Chicago to become a gang member.
No, I love it in Boo Medea Halloween. The moment he shows Medea, instead of Medea talking, it's Fat Grandma, and he's just like, wait a minute, when did Fat Grandma become black?
Oh man, I see that guy. I see Linkara like argue. I got to start watching Linkara more because he does comic book reviews, and I don't even really watch him that much. But I love watching Linkara on Twitter because he's very sarcastically
Yeah.
shitty to some people that write stupid shit to him.
It's funny because I think Linkara, like, he's one of those that because of his living situation he's not a single issue guy. He buys more trades because just he doesn't have the space for single issues.
Yeah.
The thing of it, I've watched a few of his stuff. I rarely watch it because I'm so opinionated at times, or I just don't care. I like comic books for the way they are. I don't.
Well, I mean, we do reviews too. It's
Yeah.
probably not wise to watch. Well, we do DC reviews, we do other comic book reviews, we do whole comic book episodes sometimes when Cool Beer comes on. So, I mean, I don't think it's a good idea for people that read comics and review comics to listen to other people's reviews and have their opinion tainted by that review.
And
I would rather read it cold and make up my own mind.
And I've kind of learned that with Twitter is doing the reviews is that I have to stop getting into discussions about DC books when I'm reviewing them. Like, somebody had put up something about the Terrifics the other week about it basically being a Fantastic Four ripoff, which, yes, I can see that.
It's definitely their DC's kind of answer to Fantastic, since there is no Fantastic Four. I mean, right now.
And this person was like, they are actually, promoting it as a Fantastic Four ripoff, and I'm just like looking at my emails from DC, and I'm like, they never said this anywhere in the emails. And he's like, well, it's right here on this website. I'm like, okay, dude, what?
A random website.
And then it's always that hashtag.
Well, he's right to a degree, but it was great,
right.
though.
No,
it was
right.
It was a
really
great
good.
book, though.
Yeah.
What's the problem? I don't care. You know what else is a ripoff? Hyperion is a ripoff of Superman.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's
Really?
if we're gonna talk shops. Really, Squadron Supreme is the Justice League for DC or for Marvel.
Yes, all these new DC books are coming out with. Damage is freaking the Hulk. Silencer is the Punisher. Sideways is I'm not sure, but the Terrifics are Fantastic Four. Yeah, Nightcrawler basically. The Terrifics are Fantastic Four, and Brimstone. It looks like it's going to be kind of like Ghost Rider, but I'm enjoying it.
This is nothing new in comics. Like I said, Squadron Supreme is the Marvel's answer to the Justice League. So why can't DC have their answer to the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
I don't see any problem with that. They don't mention anything specifically Fantastic Four. It's its own book, and the Terrifics was really fucking good. If you're not reading that, you're missing out. That's just your problem, buddy.
And I'm gonna say this. I really hate this hashtag that's on Twitter called "Do You Even Comic Book."
I don't even pay attention to it.
I really am getting mad at that because it's like, I'm like, if you scroll,
what is that? Questioning my integrity? Go fuck yourself. I got 30 odd years, more than that, 30, probably 37 years on.
Yeah, but it's like everybody who wants to talk comics on Twitter nowadays is using that hashtag, do you even comic book? And I'm like, motherfucker, you can look at my collection and know I fucking comic book, okay?
Well, I mean, here's the thing is I've forgotten more about storylines and issue numbers and arcs and artwork and artists and writers. I've forgotten more than most of these guys that I see on Twitter proclaiming to be great reviewers have ever even known. So, I mean, I've probably forgotten more than they've ever known about comic books. So I mean, don't throw that at me. I wouldn't do that to somebody. I wouldn't put that out there like I'm the comic book expert. I wouldn't do that. But I mean, if you're gonna fucking start calling people out, then yeah, I'm gonna step up and say, listen, motherfucker, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've been reading comic books for 37 years. Suck my dick.
That's why I've been staying off of Twitter. I don't post a lot. I don't tweet a lot anymore. I used to tweet a lot. Nowadays, it's like I'll put up a poll. I'll put up the show. I'll interact.
There's a lot of dumb shit going on in the comic book community right now. I mean, I've still got my people that I've got a core group of people that I speak to about comic books on Twitter, and that's most of them are the same core group from 7 years ago when I started Twitter that I met. Guys like Aaron Myers and Cool Beer and Adrian Hunter and Dr. Spidey and a lot of those guys from the Spider Clan that we all had the hashtag Spider Clan back in the day.